Detective Babineaux is to detecting what Lois Lane is to investigative reporting. So how do you think he's going to feel once he finally figures out there are zombies and there's been one under his nose the entire time?
Well, for the first part of the question, I think it's gonna rock his world. You know, I always say Clive represents the real person in the real world. You know, he watches Game of Thrones and cosplays as Drogo, and so I think that means that if there's a zombie world, that means there's a werewolf world. That means there's vampires. That means there's Santa Claus, potentially the Tooth Fairy. So I think it's just gonna his mind. I think he's just gonna be shot. And in terms of finding out that Liv all this time has been a zombie, it's gonna really test their friendship and test their bond. You know, they have grown really, really tight. You know, over this year and a half, however long it's been, but over this case and being successful. But I think it's gonna be pretty shocking, pretty devastating for him, and especially when there's certain ramifications that comes with that, because she was his biggest deterrent in solving the Meat Cute massacre, which really, really could have made his career. He was right, but the only person that kept him away from that is Liv, being Major's alibi, and keeping, even in terms of switching out the results of the first of those brains that he tested, as Mrs. Suzuki gave him. So I think it's just going to be a ton of emotions. I think it's going to be shocking. I think he'll be devastated, but it's whether or not he can get past that. So I think, if that were to happen, we'll see. I think it'll be fun to play.
When do you think he should find out?
I think he should find out, and whenever he finds out, it should happen in an honest way. It shouldn't be something that you get smacked. It just comes out of nowhere. I think, they've been so patient with the buildup of it. I think stay the course. It just shouldn't come out of nowhere. Just smack him in the face. And I think it should be high stakes. When he does find out, it should be some dire circumstances. I think that'll be interesting to play.
Is he going to be involved at all in uncovering or investigating what happened in the basement at Max Fraser?
Is he going to be? Right now he hasn't. Clive has no idea that that's even happening. I think there's things that, he has to. The Chaos Killer and the Meat Cute Massacre are the two things on his plate right now, and obviously we know the Chaos Killer is linked to the whole Max Fraser thing as the audience. But whether or not he finds that out or not, I don't know. What I can tell you is that, and I know if anybody told you guys, but the last two episodes are in procedural. It's all serialized, and so I think that what they do in the last two episodes, I think people are going to be so excited about. We were blown away when we read the script. We had no idea, being in the show and being fans of the show, that this was ever going to happen. But trust me, the answers, the last two episodes answers your question, in a real way. And trust me, it's worth the wait. It's pretty incredible what they do.
Is it nice to break out of that mold of brain of the week, so to speak, and that you do get to play something that's more serialized at some point?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's great. I mean, trust me, I love the procedural side of things and interrogating people, but to get away from that from time to time, it's fun. I think my first scene I had that was not procedural was with Bazio, and we're talking about where I think it's about a food truck, or where's the best restaurant or whatever, something like that, takeout or something. But that was fun to play. I was like, wow, this is my first time not talking about a case or a murder. So I just think it just adds balance. It gives. It's always fun to play. So yeah,
to build on the actual character,
and it builds on the, and that's number one. It just builds on the character and gives you an idea of who he is outside of work. Clive is so tunnel vision, so straight-laced, and so to kind of see him break away from that from time to time, you go, that's a real human being behind it. He just, and I think it also makes you appreciate why he is the way he is at work. It's a choice. It's a work ethic that he has, and I think everybody can respect somebody with a great work ethic. So, yeah.
the finale, they're airing the 2 final episodes back to back for the season, isn't that correct?
Yeah.
Are you excited to see that all in one setting for people?
Yeah, we will definitely be live tweeting and watching, with the fans and interacting with them, because we just think that people are going to be so surprised or so shocked, definitely satisfied with the direction the show goes.
And so you're excited season 3 is coming as well?
Oh yeah, we found out on set, so going to work the next day, everybody was like skipping to work. It's just great to know, like, oh, okay, got some type of, just not to have that, just to have that peace of mind, versus going home and then you sit there like, you just don't know, especially, audition for something else and all this other stuff, and we all want it to come back, but you don't know, you don't have that control, but to kind of have that peace of mind and working with the crew. We have a great crew, and we're not saying our final goodbyes. We know we're going to see each other back in July. We're with each other 14, 16 hours a day. So obviously it gives our crew security as well. So it was great. It was great to find out early.
With Clive maybe finding out about Liv one day, how does he rationalize her behavior now? Like, he's mentioned it a couple times this season, like those mood swings of hers.
Yeah.
But what does he think of her, I guess, that makes her act?
Yeah, the case at hand, is always more important to him. There's a dead person who's been killed. So that is number one. And she has her psychic visions, which actually help solve these cases, and that's number 2. And then third, you got these weird personality things, and he reacts to it, and then kind of moves on with it. It's like, all right, let's focus on 1 and 2. He can always get back to number 1 thing. But he did mention it. He did ask Robbie, like, Robbie, do you notice that she acts different every time or acts similar to the victims that we're investigating? And Robbie lies to him. Nope. I haven't noticed a thing. I don't know what you're talking about. So you have the biggest deterrence of him trying to find out the truth are the people in the show. They're trying to keep him away from it. And they know it's pretty easy with Clive because all you have to do is just get back to the case. All right, and then he's gonna immediately go back to that. But he obviously noticed it. He said something. Even in season 1, he said something like, "Listen, don't be so method with this case. Chill out a little bit."